And good evening to everybody, and welcome to this I always have to check my notes here, seventh session of the fourth series of Maternity and Midwifery Hour. I'm delighted you're joining us this evening. And also, I must say, my name's Sue Macdonald. I often forget to say who I am. I'm the curator for the Maternity and Midwifery Hour and the Maternity and Midwifery Festivals. So it's my pleasure to be chairing this evening's hour. And I'm delighted to be joined by Deborah Holloway, who's a nurse consultant. And as we always do, I like to put my speaker on the spot and ask her for her moment of the week to share with us to get us started. So Deborah, your moment of the week.
My moment has been this morning when we have 8 foxglobes in the garden from 2 different litters, and 3 were on the wall trying to get back in. So made me slightly late for work.
Oh, sweet. Are you taking lots of photos, Deborah, and putting them on Twitter and everything?
Yeah, yep.
Fabulous. It's lovely to have in your garden until they start picking things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Well, I'm just going to run through the usual thing about, as you know, and those of you who tune in every week will know this, that these sessions were designed really to provide information, a little bit of continuing profession development, and a way of just connecting with other midwives, student midwives, other people within maternity services. And I know we do have a few medics and we have a few doulas and people who want to become midwives. So welcome to all of you. You're all very welcome this evening. What you need to know is they're accessible today, now, even as we speak, and they will be available at the end of the week, and they're available as anytime you want afterwards. If you want to replay the session, you can do so, and you can involve your friends. It's all free, no milk sponsorship or anything like that, and you can use it in your unit to share with your colleagues. Really good to do because it gets the discussion going and shares the information out. Now, as you know, we're moving along this roadmap and that things are opening up a little bit. The vaccination rates are going up really well and fast, though we have got problems with the so-called Indian variant, and that's bringing its own problems. So we still need to keep up with the masks and the social distancing and just keep as safe as you can. And I want to say, as I always do, because I don't think we can forget that, we need to send love and condolences to people who've lost members of their family, their friends at this time over the last year. And also say a big thank you to all of the people, mainly in intensive care and high dependency units, but all of the people within the health service who are working so hard to look after people and get them back to health and get them home. And also, of course, our maternity services who carry on providing care, because mothers and babies are still coming along. It didn't stop with the pandemic. And the midwives, what I have been fantastically impressed with over the year is the way that midwives have got so innovative and clever to try and make sure that the care to mothers, babies and their families continues at a high standard still. And they just keep on going. So well done, and thank you to all of you. And a big thank you to all the vaccination centres. I know there's quite a few midwives who are also doing vaccinations there, so a big thank you to them. You're doing fantastically, and carry on the good work. Now, I always move on to the news of the week, and I won't go into the news from the Parliament because that's all over the TV and radio. We'll have something a bit different now. Right, it's National Epilepsy Week this week, and you'll remember we talked about the support and needs of women with epilepsy and reducing the risk of maternal mortality a couple of weeks ago with Kim Morley. Again, that session's still available if you didn't get to see it, but it's just to be aware of those different needs, and we're going to have a session in a couple of weeks about women who need more care from us. And we're still in Maternal Mental Health Month, and we need to be very aware of the impact of mental health and supporting mothers and families experiencing difficulties in mental health. And again, you could remember last week's session with Amy Brown on all the pressures on new mums. I've been thinking a lot about that this week. You know, they have a new baby and they have to do everything about the care of the baby and the family and the housework and all the other things that women do, and juggle everything. So it's not really any surprise they're very stressed. So just remember to care for them. Different track now. It's National Walking Month. So if you haven't already, look at your activities, get yourself a pedometer or a little Fitbit thing or whatever your, you know, these iWatches or whatever, and try and increase your activity. I think for most people, this isn't a problem, but it's quite good having one of these things, because then you realize you actually are doing sometimes more than your 10,000 steps a day. Try that as your New Year's resolution as we move into June next week. Right, the other new bit of news, there's a new NICE induction guidelines consultation which closes on the 6th of July. And the link to that is on the resource sheets, which is available as normal this evening. So do go and have a look, make your comments, however small, however big, make your comments and have a say in it. And you might remember Patricia Gillen sharing the results of the Health and Social Care study a few weeks ago. That was phase 1 and 2, and we're now entering to phase 3 of this wellbeing study, and it's just commenced. So if you want to join in and put your views in, just follow the link on the resource page, and it should be hscworkforcestudy.co.uk. And again, have your say in that. It's really useful. Now, having galloped through all of that news, I'm now going to move on to the main meat of this evening, because I'm so pleased that we're going to focus on this topic. We're going to be looking at the menopause. Now, we're looking at it from two aspects, really. Most midwives, or the majority of midwives, are women. And women are half the population as well. We can't forget that. And at some point, they're going to experience the menopause. And also, as healthcare professionals, I don't know about you, maybe I go to the wrong sort of dinner party, but I'm quite often asked about this sort of topic. And it's always good to know the proper evidence-based information. Where there is evidence, you know it, and where there isn't, you don't know it. Even things like, should I go on HRT? Are there any alternatives? What's normal about it, and will it be awful? And for some women it might be awful, and for some women it won't be, and we never know when you don't know what you're going to get, as it were. So I am so pleased, delighted in fact, to introduce Deborah Holloway, who is an expert. This is a passion of hers as well, which is fantastic. She's a nurse consultant in gynecology with a clinical caseload which includes a one-stop outpatient procedure clinic that includes diagnostic and operative hysteroscopy, insertion of IUS and UCDs and other minor procedures. And she also sees women who are premenopausal or who have postmenopausal bleeding. And she co-leads a specialist menopause service and a clinic within the Haemophilia Centre for Women with Bleeding Disorders and Gynecology Problems. She, in her spare time, I'll say this, she teaches and runs a yearly gynecology course at King's College, and she's current chair of the Royal College of Nursing Women's Health Forum and has an honorary fellowship with the RCOG and the RCN. So welcome, Debbie. The screen is now yours.
Thanks for watching this video from the Maternity and Midwifery Forum. For more expert opinion and analysis, hit the button below to subscribe.